Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still second down.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Watch it now, Barney!
Off the play fake. Townsend. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
All right, now look at 56.
Off play action. Townsend. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He's got room to run past the 20. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for first down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Bills have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
To throw on 2nd down, Townsend. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills have taken the early lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Going right side here, and that's complete. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Throwing is Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. His throw incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake. Townsend. He's going to fire one deep. Middle. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Off play action. Townsend. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Looking to throw. Townsend buying time to his left. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Off the play fake. Townsend. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, You don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the foot.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Now Wilson. And this throw will be intercepted. And he lost the football. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you're going to see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
On second down, here's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now it's Wilson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Throwing on first down. Townsend, he's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that has to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
A good pickup there, a 22. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. A final shot before break. Townsend. On the crossing route, complete. That's Brady. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Bills now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looking to throw on second down. Townsend. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. From the gun on third down. Townsend. And the grab by Croft. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Oh, he's not going to get it by much, but on 4th and 1, all you're worried about is moving the sticks. And here he's able to fight his way forward for a couple of yards, and that's all he needed.
Off play action. Townsend looking deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this all the way inside the Miami 15. A big play here for Buffalo. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off back.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wilson on second down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Spinning away. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Off the play fake. Townsend. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He's going to air one out. He's got a man. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back to throw. Townsend. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Townsend. And this is taken in at the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bills will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Bills defense now as they head out to defend. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down. Not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. That's fielded in the end zone.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
And the Bills getting set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defense.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they'll run it here. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to maneuver at the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
No, check, Patriot!
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Leopard!
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So now here come the Dolphins. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here come the Bills. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bathema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Operating from the gun, Townsend, and pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw. Townsend. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On fourth down, Townsend. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Townsend. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing on third and long. Townsend. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Wilson. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And out come the Dolphins now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. To throw is Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
All of a 360.
Oh,
well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
All right, now, look at 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Off the play fake. Townsend, he sets to fire deep. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.